this might rub some people the wrong way, but I gotta say it, man. I'm on YouTube, I'm on the internet, I'm listening to podcasts, trying to figure out how do you land a TED Talk. And most of these people who are sharing this information are like not actually sharing the information. What they're doing is they're giving you little itty bitty breadcrumbs, the breadcrumbs you follow and you wait. And as you get to the end of the piece of content, they put up a paywall. They're like, hey, but if you want my coaching or if you want my course, then you could do that, which is wild to me. Now, don't get me wrong. If you guys have courses or you're a coach, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't tease people with these freaking breadcrumbs, right? If we're about sharing ideas, then let's allow people to have the opportunity to share the ideas. And if you have the knowledge, then give them the freaking knowledge. Don't put it behind a paywall. You could give them the information and still make money later, but don't, oh my God, like it is so exhausting to me. Now I know what you're thinking. Who the heck are you? What gives you the right or the authority to even speak on this? Well, I am a TEDx speaker, but you shouldn't listen to me because I'm a TEDx speaker. I am a professional social media strategist for mission-driven organizations, but you should not listen to me just because I do that for a living. The reason you should listen to me is because I care, is because I give a shish kebab about you, right? I really want to see you win. And the reason is because I was there. I wanted to share my idea. I had a mission of spreading the word about an idea or a message that would hopefully impact some people. And I know that's why you're watching this video or listening to this episode. And that's the reason you should listen to me. Not because of the fact that I've been on the stage. I feel like that's the whole angle. It's like, oh, I've been on the stage, so because I've been on the stage, let me just get your money. And like, yo, this is no BS. This is the raw tips, not just the ideas and the concepts that will get you onto the stage, but really the human aspect of the experience that will help the universe guide you towards your mission and your purpose. And that's what this is about. So we're going to jump right into it. But before I start, I just have to give a quick disclaimer. I am not selling anything. I am not selling anything. So if you want to get onto the red circle, if you want to get onto the red dot, then watch the entire episode, listen to the entire episode, and absorb and open your mind and your heart and your spirit and soul to these words that are coming out of my mouth, because I got somewhere to be. I got to take my son to a doctor's appointment, and I'm trying to just get this in because I was in the shower, like trying to find a good video, and these people, it's crazy out here. It's like, yo, just feed the people what they need. With that being said, first tip, do not blindly apply. Do not blindly apply to speak at TEDx events. It is an insane waste of your time. Now, there will be an outlier of someone who said, nah, Robin, I applied to, 1,500 of the 3,000 events in 2023, and I landed my first talk. Hey, that's a numbers game. I don't know what the percentage is, but that could happen. I don't think it's a good use of your time. And I also think I know, actually, I don't even think on this one. I know that we need to be more intentional on how we connect, not just with TEDx organizers or TEDx events, but also just with humans, just on a human level. So I can't be like, man, I'm going to just go out there and apply to as many TEDx events as possible and hopefully I'll land my talk. Like, nah, man, we got to be way more focused. And I'm going to show you how. So the first thing is don't blindly apply. Number 2, find the chapters where you actually want to speak. I can share a link in the show notes of the pod and also the description of the YouTube where you can go to TED and look up the names of the events that are coming, whether it's in your region, in your area, or a city that you're going to be in town that time of year. You could just kind of curate the list of events and organizers that you want to connect with. So don't blindly do it, intentionally do it. Go in there, take the time, schedule like, hey, I'm gonna do a 3-hour work block on Saturday. I'm gonna let my family know I'm going to do this thing and really pour into it. Don't willy-nilly. What I see is a lot of people who are trying to get onto the red dot, trying to make their red circle debut, that they do it part-time. You got to be all the way in. Like, you have to commit to it and be organized with it. It doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be your entire life, right? You probably have a job, you probably got kids, family, girlfriend, school, whatever it is, but you need to carve out time in order to make this happen. So, 1, don't blindly apply. 2, find the chapters you actually want to speak at. Side note on that one, when you find the chapters that you want to speak at, get on their email list. Oh, baby. I can't tell you how powerful that is. It is so powerful because now you have a direct connection with the people that have the keys to your red circle future. They can bring you into the fold of what they're doing. So get on their email list if they have one. The next thing is, I want you to actually, if you're on the email list, is reply to the emails. It can be subtle. It does, listen, this is a ninja trick, right? And this is a life ninja trick. This is not just to get on a TEDx stage. This is just for life. When you respond to someone the first time, or even as you're building rapport early on in your connection, don't be out here asking people for stuff. I don't know you. And listen, I'll raise my hand and let you know I'm guilty of this. I've done this. And I fight and struggle daily to like put away my opportunist mentality. Like, hey, like, how can I come up? How can I get better? How can I be the best? Like, that's how I was raised. But I have to kind of put that to the side and switch that to, how can I serve you? How can I help you? So respond to the emails that you get on the email list and just introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Robin. I'm really a big fan of TEDx, and I found out you had a local chapter here, and I just want to get involved. How can I get involved? That's it. Don't lead with, hey, I want to be a speaker one day. What can I do to be a speaker? That's whack. Don't do that. Do not do that. So remember, reach out to the organizers via email if you get their contact through the email list. If they don't have an email list, find them on LinkedIn. TEDx, the website for TEDx doesn't list their email addresses, but you can find out the name of the organizer, and then you can look them up on LinkedIn, which is a great resource. Get a sip of this coffee. Okay, so email them, don't ask for anything. The next thing is very important. When you are offering value to them, make sure that you're very clear on what you can bring to the table. So if you have a particular skill set or expertise, for example, I'm a social media strategist, I would say, hey, I'm a social media strategist, how can I help? If you are a nurse, hey, listen, at your next TED event, are you guys gonna have any nurses on site just in case there's an accident or something? Hey, are you a writer? Let's say you're a copywriter. Hey, listen, do you guys have any volunteers who are helping out with copywriting? I'd love to help with your email sequences. Whatever your skill set is, whatever your gift is, offer that to the TEDx organizers as a show of good faith, but also a sincere gesture, right? Don't do it just because, man, let me see how I can get on this stage. I got it. I'll share my amazing copywriting ability with them. People could see through that quick, fast, in a hurry. So don't do that. Be sincere, be real. The next one, also in offering your services as a volunteer, also offer to spread the word. Be like, hey, listen, I have an email list of 2,200 people. Is it okay if I send a blast to my community about your upcoming event? Hey, I have a huge list of sponsors that have sponsored my work, my employer's events, and they're cool with me sharing because they believe in what you're doing. Is it okay if I connect you with some sponsors? Yeah. Like, okay, hook me up. So try to give them as many different resources as you can. Volunteer your time, try to spread the word, and also, if there are sponsors, connect them with sponsors. The next thing is, it seems pretty like simple and kind of a no-brainer, but this is something that gets neglected all the time. Attend in-person TEDx events. I attended 2 TEDx events before I set foot on a TEDx stage. And as a consumer of information, content, and ideas, it impacted me greatly. There are nuggets that I have in my notes section of my phone that I still refer to till this day from those 2 TEDx events that I attended before I even got on the red circle, right? So if you want to do this, you have to immerse yourself in the culture. You have to like be with TED. You have to embrace it. You have to live, breathe, sleep it, right? You can audit if you watch YouTube, you can audit your YouTube viewing history and see the things that you're watching, right? Like, hey, I watched that news clip about Donald Trump. Hey, I watched that basketball thing about LeBron James. Hey, I watched this, this comedy special with Dave Chappelle. If you really want to get on a TEDx stage, that history needs to be TED Talks. So for me, I have a log actually of how many TEDx talks, and I write the name, the speaker, and I refer back to them. How did I complete it? Did I like it? How did it make me feel? Were there any takeaways? That's where you need to be if you intend on getting on the red circle. So make sure you are not just talking about it, but you're being about it. So once you attend some in-person events, this is a ninja trick. This is a huge ninja trick. On social media, follow the chapters that you're interested in speaking at, right? So find those, you can set your number based on your bandwidth. If you're a single college student, you probably have way more bandwidth than I do. I'm a 2-time dad with a wife and a full-time job. Like, it's a lot, right? But if you have the bandwidth, create a list of how many you want to do, let's say 50, and then on social media, follow them if they have an account, and then stay active there. If you are a content creator or you have the ability to create content, which we all really do, it's just about if that's your preference or not to do that. You can do written content, you can do video content, you can do images if you're a graphic designer. Like, even if you use Canva, you can make some simple graphics. Make sure you're creating content on social media and somehow connecting them to it. So it could be something as simple as, hey, I got an email blast today from TEDx blank. It was amazing. Let me share 3 points from that. And then you tag them on it. Once you do that, their eyebrows are like, wow, this person offered to volunteer. This person came to my event. This person got me 2 sponsors. And now this person is promoting me on social media and not asking for anything? Crazy, right? So that is a hack. And that's not just a hack for building rapport with people. It's also, again, for business. If you are trying to build connections on social media, just pour into what they're doing. And maybe hack is not the right term. I don't want to come across like it's not a hack. Let me take that back. So I'll pull up. It is not a hack. It is just a fact. Like, if you pour into what others are doing, typically the universe will reward you. So don't make it about yourself. Make it about the thing that you believe in, which in this case is this TEDx chapter. The next thing is, and this seems like it should be a no-brainer, but you have to be authentic. So all of the things that I talked about before, if you're not being authentic, none of that works. What does it mean to be authentic? Just be honest and real. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to, like, in the first interaction be like, hey, I recently got divorced. My dog died. I just got fired from my job. And I was just really thinking if I could get on the TEDx stage, it would change my life. Like, nah. You don't want to go there earlier on in the connection. What you want to do is just kind of build rapport. And as you get to know them better, then share more about yourself, including the fact that someday you'd like to get on a TEDx stage. Now, the way I would frame it is not, hey, I wouldn't say, hey, how can I get on your stage? I would say something like, hey, can you help me prepare to get on a stage one day? Don't make it about, hey, I'm working here so I can get on this stage. Like it shouldn't be that. And another thing, just in terms of authenticity, if you're doing this because you want to make more money, or if you're doing this because you want to build more authority for your business or your space, if you're doing this with a personal goal that is connected to your advancement, this might not be the thing for you. Some might disagree, and I'm okay with that. I'm letting you know from my personal experience, my first few years of this journey was me being an opportunist. Me like, how can I do the thing? How can I get the thing? And people could see through that. Transparent saran wrap paper. Like they could see right through it. And I had to like self-reflect. And I was lucky enough and blessed enough to have people around me who would be honest with me about my ideas and my intentions. And I've developed and grown as a person because of that. I'm telling you that now so that way you don't have to go through that. Right? It's a famous Jay-Z line. Hove do that. So hopefully you won't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure you don't experience that same challenge of not being your authentic self. It's okay to want to get on a TEDx stage, and it's okay to speak up about it. It's not okay for you to have your agenda intertwined with what you're going to do for your business. Now, the one exception to that is if you have a mission-driven nonprofit or something like that where you're saving lives and you want to get on the stage to spread the word about that, then I get that. That makes sense. But if you're like, hey, I could get more coaching clients, and come on, man. It's 2020. I'm not even going to say the year. This is timeless. This is timeless information for you. Be authentic, and the universe will reward you. Whatever you believe in, whatever you follow, just know that if you put others above yourself, in this case, your TEDx chapter, you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded. So, next steps. I want you to decide if this is for you. I want you to take some time to reflect. Is this something I want to do? Can I do everything on this list that Robin just shared with me? Find out if it's really what you want to do, and find out if it's really who you want to be. And my wife said a really cool quote to me the other day. I shared it on social, and it's people really resonated with it. She says, do what you are. Do what you are. Make sure you continue to pay attention to what we're doing here, and in no time, you will be on that red circle. Do me a favor and check out our YouTube Shorts playlist.